Good morning, everybody. And how is everyone today on this beautiful wet day? I don't know what it's like where you are, but we're having a little bit of rain here, which is a wee bit disappointing. But anyway, I'm excited to have Roisin with me today. Roisin, how are you doing? It's so lovely to see you.
Hi, yeah, it's really good to see you. Yeah, I'm doing well, and yeah, can see the miserable weather here too, but still feeling good, so that's good.
Where are you based?
I'm based near Dunoon in Argyll.
Right, okay. Because last weekend I was in Skye, and then as I was coming back from Skye on the Monday, we drove right into the sunshine, and it was just amazing. So sometimes the weather, Scotland can be like that, can't it? Aberdeen's dry and sunny, and we've got rain, and the opposite. So anyway, let's not talk about the weather. Let's
No.
talk about breathwork, because you and I are both absolutely passionate / obsessed about breathwork and getting the power of the breath out to the masses. Because as we know, there's lots of people suffering right now simply because they don't know how to breathe differently to ease their stress, their pain, their busy mind. So let's start off with telling me, how did you get into this? How long have you been fascinated by the breath? And you're a lot younger than me, so I'm very happy for you that you're learning at such a young age. I
Oh,
was
thank you.
60, nearly 60 before I realised how powerful it was.
Yeah, so I kind of found breathwork 4 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and it was really random but also connected. I have scoliosis, had some back pain, and was trying to find different solutions. And my mum came across breathwork. So I followed, they're called Alchemy of Breath online, and they do these
Yes.
online sessions. So I went to my first one 4 years ago, and I went in not quite knowing what to expect, never having done this before.
Uh-huh.
And I was blown away from the very first one. I kind of did it, followed the breathing, and for me, really strong emotions came up, a lot of anger. But it was really nice because in the past, I would have thought feeling anger was a bad thing. That's not what I want. But it felt so good to feel it. And it kind of by the end felt like some of it had
Mhm.
released. And so after that experience, immediately I was like, I love this. I love this so much. And could feel the power of it.
Yeah.
And already at the time they were talking about facilitator training. I was like, yes, I want to do it. At the time, I couldn't commit to it, didn't have the finances, but I kept breathing at their sessions like every
Mhm.
weekend. And then finally, last about 2 years ago, decided to commit, did the course for a year, and now I've been facilitating for nearly a year.
Brilliant. Absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, I mean, that was like me. It was the Wim Hof method was my introduction to it. Again, years ago, probably about 8 years ago now, where I was like, what? And I've done a lot of breath work. I've done a lot of yoga. I've been in India. I've done, participated in a lot of things, but I'd never had that absolute blissful feeling of expansion and that change. Where that all the worries of the world drop away. That's how it was for me. And of course, I was like, I want to do this. I want to teach this. Well, I didn't actually think I would teach at that point. I just wanted to do it myself and get people along to the Wim Hof method, which I'm still an enormous fan of. I love it. But now, obviously, there's hundreds, literally, of different ways to breathe, isn't there? So tell us about Alchemy of Breath. What's their kind of, and I like the fact it's a year's training, because I think to get confidence, I mean, ours is 4 days and then 10 case studies. But then
Mhm.
it's a bit like learning to drive. You need to get out and you need to teach and you need to experience, because people can have quite a lot of emotional responses. So tell me about Alchemy of Breath.
Yeah, so that is what I enjoy about the training I did because it was online, but every week for 8 months you are coming together for 3 hours and also doing your case studies in the meantime, building on that. And they taught us the actual breathwork technique, so I'll speak about that. But something that I really appreciate from that training that I bring into my work is they just really teach you like presence, like how to be present with someone. And as you say, things can come up, but it always is just about coming back to that, just being with someone, like not trying to change their process in any way, but allowing them to go through that. And so that was like the most powerful learning for me. And then the type of breath work we do, it is conscious connected breath, in and out through the mouth, and you're connecting the inhale to the exhale and the exhale to the inhale. So I think I did yours, Lilia, recently, and it's similar, but you kind of do, I think, the like two out. So I just do like one out, one in, one out. So that's the slight variation. But yeah, having now, I'm not an expert on other breath works, but I have experienced a few different ones now. And I think that this one, it's really powerful, but I do like that you can go quite gentle with it. So it is a bit, there's more ones where it is more like push and go with the breath, and that has its own like power. But mine can be a bit more inviting and gentleness as well. And it's kind of like you push if you feel to push, but you also are being gentle if you feel like being gentle and just being with the process. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of your own exploration that you can do with it, and just about tuning into your own breath.
I know, and the thing is, you kind of think, well, you breathe in, you breathe out, and you can hold your breath. That's pretty much the three things that you can do. But in actual fact, the variations within that are enormous. And, you know, with my instructors, I'm always like, you need to go home and breathe your body and learn. Because, you know, I think it's like all the different kinds of yoga and Pilates and etc. There's no rights and there's no wrongs. There's just ones that you enjoy more. You know, and some people, I mean, I love the loud music and the drums and the, you know, that everybody getting, I love that. I mean, I used to teach high impact aerobics, so I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. But I also really enjoy that sort of gentle, you know, I'm actually doing an advanced training with my group right now, which is very much based on Brooke McPoyle's work on detoxing the lungs and detoxing the organs with the breath and the lymphatic system and the fascia. And it's complete opposite of that. And I'm really enjoying, you know, learning about that, because there are just so many different ways to do it. And I know that you do one-to-ones and classes. We'll talk about that in a sec. But I think if we're, you know, it's, you don't bring each other's methods down. There's just all these variations in it. And, you know, I was on a reboot, what do you call it? The Pilates reformer. The Pilates reformer for the first time. My friend Marcy's got them in her house. And I mean, I used to teach fitness. I worked in a gym. I've always been in about the body and getting fitter and stronger and really fascinated by it. And she was saying they're starting to take EFT into the stretching because of the understanding of the fascia. You know, and I'm like, I love this. It's all these things now we're understanding. Everybody's teaching one thing. And, you know, in our system, it's like, oh, your shoulder's sore, your hip's sore. It's like, it's a whole system of things, isn't it? You know, that it all work in beautiful synergy. And, you know, I was listening to a podcast the other day and I just put it off because they were wanting to try and tell me how I should breathe. And I was just like, you know, we're all different. You know, we're all, and also, you know, especially as a female, you know, your periods have just started, maybe you're pregnant, maybe you're breastfeeding, maybe you're running around after 6 kids and a job, and maybe you're perimenopause, maybe you're menopausal. All these times of your life call for different types of breath work and exercise. And I think that's really all that it is. If you're going, I hate that, it's just, oh, that's not for you right now. You know, but maybe, you know, and that's why I like to teach 4 different ones, you know, so you can experiment with them, and you'll get some people that love it and some people that are like, you know. So tell me about do you teach primarily in groups or are you working one-to-one mainly?
So I'm doing both. At the moment, I've mainly done group sessions. Been doing them in my hometown Dunoon. I've been spreading out a bit to like Glasgow and the Isle of Bute as well. So trying to do regular group sessions about once a month in those places. Great. And then I am beginning one-to-one sessions because that is something I'm also really passionate about. I'm actually currently on the support team for the next course, with the Alchemy of Breath course. So I'm getting to work alongside students as they do that. And what's really helpful for them is getting some one-to-one sessions. So I've got a few students who I'm starting to work in that way with. And I do really love the one-to-one work as well, because you really kind of get into your own stuff, are able to work through it and like have my support in that. So I definitely want to get like more clients for that. And yeah, they're very different. Like one-to-one is that it's more about your own process, kind of learning to work with that with another person. And then the group one, also working through your process, but you're feeling the energy of the group, and that can bring in different things as well. So yeah, I really like doing both.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I say to, because a lot of people are scared of their breath. It
Hmm.
kind of stuns me, you know. But as a hairdresser, some people are scared getting their hair cut. Some people are in a beauty. I used to do facials. Some people will be totally stressed getting a facial or a massage. You know, there's so much fear in people, and that's what I always say. If you're scared but curious, do a one-to-one, and
Yeah.
then it can be completely, you know, before you go into the class situation. And I don't know if you find this, but people are scared to cry. They're trying to suppress all these emotions. The body's like, oh, thank God for that, let's get all this out. And we're like, no, I don't want to be embarrassed, you know, for whatever our reasons are, for not wanting to cry in front of other people, instead of going, get it out, get it out. So I think one-to-ones are real. I think they're valuable for everyone, but I think they're invaluable for people that are really scared, because then you can just gently take them. And also, my friend Cara, when she started kind of co-facilitating with me, uh, she was watching them. She's going, "Yeah, some of them aren't even breathing properly." I said, yeah, you get some people. I always remember my pal watching me, and one of my pals, he says, you're like giving it laldy. And this, my friend was just like, there's just that little bit of fear that's going to just do a little bit, because I'm, you know, it's the fear of the unknown, isn't it? What's going to happen? What's going to come up? And it's like, well, let's encourage people and get them feeling safe in that environment. And, you know, and let, because the bodies, you know, all my clients right now up at the Health Hub, I'm giving them Breathe with Sandy link, because I'm like, you need to learn how to breathe and regulate how you feel. It's critical part of staying well and getting well. So what are people coming to you with? What are you sort of seeing in your practice?
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot more group work there recently, so people
Uh-huh.
come with a variety of things. I think a lot, like I'd say the main topic that comes up like again and again is just stress, having too much on in their lives, not really having the time kind of to do this. And so that's what's so lovely, is that as much as this is what we're doing, the breath work, a big part of it is just the fact that they're willing to take like 1 hour out of their lives for themselves. I think that is such a big deal. And so, of course, the power of the breath work is what I believe in, but really just taking that time for themselves is what they need. So yeah, honestly, that is the thing I see the most, is just people like overwhelmed, stressed, and they need to come and just breathe and just kind of be with that. And then I do feel that if they do it more regularly, it becomes a practice in their life. I know it has for me, that the more I've done it, then even when I'm not in the breathwork session and I'm just trying to get on with my daily life, I remember like, oh, I'll take a breath. Oh, here, I'll take a rest. And it's just so helpful for that,
I'll
for getting
breathe
through
differently.
everyday life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's the, you know, like Joe Dispenza. Do you know Joe Dispenza's work? I'm a
Only a
huge
little
fan.
bit. Not much.
I mean, he's mainly meditation, and he obviously uses a little bit of breath work. I heard that he was talking to Wim Hof, because I thought, you guys should get together. This is, you know, the powerful combination. If I really want to meditate, I like to breathe first, because my mind shuts up much better, you know. Whereas if I just sit down and I'm busy and try to meditate, I mean, it's just not going to happen. So I like the combination, but you know, it does come down to time as well. But I think when people come in as a group, we know that you get an enhanced effect when
Mhm.
you work collectively. You know, we're designed to do things together. So you're getting your own wee community, and yeah, so what if you cry? Or so what if you scream? Or what, so what if you've got a bit of fear? Everybody that's there wants the best for you. And you know, there's a real power in being vulnerable together and having a good cry and a good share afterwards. it bonds people, you know, because then you realise we're all going through the same nonsense. You
Yeah.
know, nobody's really, and it's a difficult time being a human right now. You know, there's the joy of the internet where you can learn anything you want pretty much for free, which I'm just like devouring all the new content on fascia and the podcast. I just love it. But, you know, the kind of alternate side of that is we're absolutely overloaded with information. How do you know what is right for you? And I'm
Yeah.
finding people that are coming to see me now they actually have a very good education. They just don't know where to start. And you know, the breath is just a really good place to start because I personally really like to teach people about their intuition and the intelligence within that made the body. That's the cells just divided and made this incredible body. So that intelligence is there, you know, and the breath work takes us there, don't you think?
Yeah, oh, I completely agree. And that actually, when you were speaking, makes me think like I am also a person who gets very excited by all this like new information, like wanting to learn. And so that's been part of my like self-healing process, I'd say, is like taking in everything I can.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess just when you were saying that, what was coming to me of like, if people are feeling overwhelmed by that, by all the information there is, I would say just try something. Like,
Uh-huh.
because that's kind of where I am now, where it's like start exploring with something. And like, I think is what you were saying as well, with there being many different options, that there is different things that work for different people. But if you just start to explore it, then you'll find it and you'll be able to like feel it in your body rather than having to think about it. So I
Mhm.
think, yeah, it's really good just to start exploring a practice.
And you know, I'm sure you've had this too, but you know, two really powerful kind of responses after the breath work. One of my friends, he said that's the first time in 5 years I've been pain free. So now his mind knows it's a possibility to be pain free. And another guy he just got up and he looked at me and he went, "It's over. The past is over." And he just realised he was living way back in the past. And he just came up and gave me this huge hug. And I was like, these two words, "it's over," said so much to me because that's what the breath work allows you to do. And you know, it's the same in family constellations. When my pal Vida, she's teaching, it's like, look forward. Let's start focused on where we're going and not where we're dragging the past along, where we've been and who did this and who did what. And it's just like, right, yeah, a lot of terrible stuff has happened to people, you know, and certainly in the last 6 years, there's been a lot of suffering, but it's over. Now, where are we going? And that's what the breath work can do for you. What's been your favourite feedback?
Um, yeah, I when you were saying that, it's making me think there was one person that comes in and is in pain most of the time, and they also say that whenever they breathe in the session, they're finally able to feel that pain-free state, which is amazing for them because it's kind of like you described that they just don't think it's possible, and then
Yes.
they see that it is possible.
Mhm.
Um, Something that was really beautiful, I think someone described just this strong feeling of love. I think they actually like mentioned feeling love for the first time, like as if they were really like, that true concept of love. And that was really beautiful because that's kind of what happens to me with the breathwork as well, and is what I feel you're describing of like it
Mhm.
just goes past all of these stories. And I think the brain can do that. It can keep us so like caught up in everything, and that's what causes this stress. And then when we breathe, I think it taps into kind of to the subconscious, and it goes past all of that, and as you say, like that expansive state. And that's where we can really get this clarity rather than
Mhm.
the thinking mind. It's this knowing. um yeah.
It takes us into the heart, doesn't it? You just drop in, and
Yeah,
it's when you become that the energy rather than the material.
yeah,
Yeah, the
exactly.
unconditional love, you know, because you know, again, I've had some powerful. Exactly that. One guy came up and he also had severe ADHD that was driving him insane, and he was just the love he felt because he'd had peace from his mind, and it's like, and not everybody gets that. And I think you've maybe noticed this too. Sometimes you have people like just, oh my God, that was amazing. And other people sitting going, I want to
Yeah.
have that feeling. And usually for me, once you've had, that's the great thing about doing retreats, you can get people over a few days, they start to trust and they start to get it, and then they start to get that enormous expansion. And
Yeah.
whereas some people, they're kind of like, just don't want to give it too much in case, the fear of emotions, the fear of the feelings, the fear of trauma, I suppose, as well. Some people have been through really difficult things, but yeah, the body knows what to do. I keep saying that to
Yeah.
people, that trust the body, it knows what to do. It made itself, for God's sake, with a little help
Yeah.
from whatever, but it knows what to do.
No.
It's just, that's to me the biggest problem. We've completely lost trust in the body. And we're working with the superhuman protocol up in the hub and seeing really incredible results. And but then you can get detox symptoms, right? As you can get with breath work, which may be uncomfortable. Sometimes that has to happen. I always say it's like squeezing a spot. It can be really sore, but then there's a relief when it bursts. And it's almost like that, like the discomfort, the fear, and then you just keep breathing and it just passes. And the detox is the same. And again, if you don't really understand the body, which a lot of people don't, I never used to, then you get scared because you've never felt that before, or you're like, this is meant to make me feel better and I feel worse. And it's like, no, it's just all part of the process. Just trust, keep breathing through it. It's yeah, it's very, very exciting. So, and we had such a lovely time at Tarbert Festival. So I'm delighted that you're coming with Alchemy of Breath to Quarriers Festival. And for
Yeah.
anybody who's listening, Roshan's, how do you say your name? Roshan? Or
Roisin.
Roisin, yeah. There's a few different ways to say it, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah, if for anybody who's watching, Roisin is coming to Quarriers Festival. You have 2 more days. I think Sunday is the end of the um, super early bird deal. It's only £77 for the 3 days, so that's an unreal deal. So I'll just put the link in here for those of you that want to come. It starts at 2 on the Friday. We've got 3 days, action packed, workshops, speakers, all sorts of different things, experiences, entertainment. So you're going to have all of that for over 3 days for only £77, and that deal ends on Sunday. So grab it quickly. It's a phenomenal deal. And Scotland's wild medicine, that's the message. All these things that we can do, people that are coming to me are saying, I've been going to the doctor for 2-3 years and I'm getting worse. And it's like, it's such a joy for me to be able to introduce all these things that we can do for free by ourselves. And when we do it and we practice it, the body responds. So thank you for helping share the power of the breath. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're going to do at the festival, or is it a surprise?
No, I'll talk about it, I think, because I think it might get people intrigued, because it is, what I'm going to do is called a mandala breathwork. And
Oh,
so
nice.
it's my favorite thing that we learned from our training. And I did one recently. And so you're doing the breath work, but as you're doing the breath work, you're kind of in 2 circles. And so you sit across from a partner and you look into their eyes as you're doing the breath work, and then you keep kind of moving on. So it's not just one person for the whole breath work, but you kind of keep going. And for me, it's just so powerful, because that's another part I didn't talk about, but when breathing with others, I really feel this strong like connection, and that the connection comes through like with myself and with other people. So in this one, it comes through even more, and it's kind of like you're looking at that other person, but really you're looking at yourself, or like different versions of yourself. So I'm really excited to bring that to the festival, because I know when I came to Tarbert, it was the best vibes I've been around in a long time, and I was
Yeah.
really happy. And so, yeah, I think it will be really amazing to bring this to the next festival.
And people say that about the festival that kind of surprised me. It says you can just be yourself,
Yeah,
so you're like, wow, so you're not usually being yourself. And I think certainly since COVID, there was almost like a divide. It's like you don't want to say certain things in case you upset people, unless you're me, obviously. But we're all kind of been very mindful and don't not wanting to kind of trigger people and annoy them. So it's really nice you can come to a festival and just absolutely be yourself, and just be happy and meet so many new people that are all absolutely in the same wavelength. I mean, I'm just, Tarbert was, and the weather, of course, really played ball in Tarbert, which made it, and that Westlaw Wellness,
yeah,
what a facility. So yeah, all of that and the people, but it's always about the people, you know. And I'm excited about Quarriers as well because obviously it's much more, I suppose, central for people. You can come, you don't need to have accommodation because I'm always really mindful that, of a cost and, that people can come if they actually want to. A reminder, if you can't afford 77, just ping me a message. If you want to come to the festival, you can come. It's as simple as that. And then we have the kind of all the business to business stuff, and people start, doing other collaborations. And also, if you're a sole trader, it can be quite lonely. You meet other presenters. You can, where
yeah,
it just works on so many levels, and you're just going to meet people. And if you're there for the whole weekend, obviously, people start to trust you because that's how relationships work. They get to know you, and yeah, so it's exciting.
yeah. Thank you for bringing it together because that's what it felt like. Just like it can feel lonely to do this. Like in my hometown, people are, interested, but there's no one else quite doing breath work. And so it
Uh-huh.
was really nice to just see, oh, there's people like not that far away who are into the same kind of thing, doing the same kind of things. And it's just really lovely to see.
I know, I know, and that's another girl that had asked. She came and volunteered for me in Stonehaven, and she said, "Just that's just the best I've felt for years." And I was like,
Hmm.
"Wow!" Another girl, Antonia, she said to me, "That festival changed my life." Like, wow, because I'm lucky. I live in a world that's kind of I'm surrounded by a lot of holistic people that think very similarly to me. We're all very aligned, but you forget that a lot of people aren't. And some people think you're a wee bit crazy.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
a really good
definitely.
sign. So, listen, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward. And I'm really excited to show you the hub as well. You've not been yet, have you?
Not yet. No.
And what we're doing for everybody that's coming to the festival, they can get. We're going to open on the Sunday as well, and around it, sort of from the Friday to the Monday, people can get half price biotherapy. So that's another phenomenal deal. If you really are interested in wild medicine, then you absolutely need to get your ticket because it's yeah, it really can be life changing, and that's quite a big thing to say. But it's not just me that's saying it. So anyway, you listen, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you very soon.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
thanks,
see
hon.
you soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.